Just before talking about the subject that I want to talk about today, I changed the light. Basically, I changed the light died. Just the standard light bulb that's right there, and it was white, and now it is a warm light. Now it is a orange light. I don't know, like orange light. It's a yellow light, and so everything seems more warmer. And I changed the settings. Unfortunately, no, fortunately, I have a really good camera, and that camera has some settings like white balance and stuff like that. So I try to change it a little bit so that I still appear like a human being. And from my very limited knowledge of camera work, I'm just looking at myself and trying to like see my fucking face. From a very limited knowledge, what you want to do is just try to make your skin look like the color of skin. It's really funny to see people that don't know what they're doing have a webcam, and if the white balance is completely off, as it often is by default, they appear blue. That's Smurf skin, which is absolutely terrible. So I think I look relatively human, but it's definitely, you can see that like my background is warmer. So that is the change, and that's the weirdness that you're experiencing right now if you are. Yes, that was a minute long of completely unrelated stuff. What I wanted to talk about today is, well, first of all, let's do a little bit of an update. We just did a CT, and I'm waiting on Monday. That's basically it. On Monday, we're going to see the doctors, and they're going to tell me if I'm super dying or we're doing pretty well. It's absolutely terrifying, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm excited and terrified, and that's about it. Further updates will come eventually, maybe next week or something like that, when we discover what's going to happen. If it's good news, then it's probably going to be very good news. And if it's bad news, then obviously bad news are bad. That's it. So let's see what happens. Other than that, though, what I wanted to talk about today is just trying to stay alive, really, and the difficulty that comes with that. And man, I'm not explaining myself well. So it's difficult to have cancer. One of those difficulties is how you're trying. I really want to do the best job that I possibly can in order to stay alive. I want to do what's right in order to stay alive. And I don't know what that is. Sadly, nobody knows what that is. The most simple example that I can give you is, for example, a supplement. I take a lot of pills and a lot of supplements that I hope are doing well and are helping me not die, but I have no idea if any of them is working. The reason for that is because there's no real way of telling. I get tested and seeing the progression of the disease roughly every 3 months. Sometimes it's a bit sooner than that, and if there's other problems, but roughly it's every 3 months. And that's kind of the standard thing. You test, you see where you are, and then you proceed with specific types of conventional treatment. But on top of this conventional treatment, I'm also taking all kinds of supplements. Now, the scientific way, okay, if you want to scientifically know what's going on of testing something, is making sure that everything is exactly the same, having a control, and then changing one thing, and then you're testing that one thing. So doing exactly this, and then doing exactly this for a period of time and testing and seeing what the results are, and then doing exactly this with one difference. So taking one more supplement and seeing if that supplement makes any difference. Obviously, I can't do that because that doesn't work that way. It's unrealistic, and there are so many different things that could potentially help me. You can't perform that on yourself. You can't be your own scientific study. So you rely on other scientific studies. And in the scientific literature, there is anything that is conventional medicine has been tested very, very, very rigorously most of the time. And we can most of the time mostly rely on it. I'm saying mostly because there's always outliers, so you can't do 100% on anything. But you tend to, you want to believe in the doctors and in the scientific method and in conventional therapy because it is the thing that makes the most sense, that they have the most data on. And if it says that it mostly helps, then that's a good thing and you should try it. But all these other things, I kind of want to try them. And all these other things that don't have bulletproof, supposedly nothing's bulletproof, but doesn't have really good scientific backing to it. Has, for example, decent scientific speculation. So some studies have been made, but those studies are not huge. Those studies are not to this highest degree of scrutiny, of scientific scrutiny. Or, the sample sizes, it's like the results are positive, but the sample size is 100 people. Is that enough for you to try something? That's always those questions. So you always have to ask yourself, how much evidence, how much data can you actually find about a specific thing? And finding it is also a thing. I need to, if I'm conducting my own research about a specific supplement, for example, I need to look that up. I didn't put my phone on silent. I need to look that up as best I can and try to decipher it, try to decide on what to do based on evidence that I find. But I might not find this one landmark study that actually says this is terrible. I might miss that. I don't know. I'm one person conducting research. And if I find any other people conducting more research, then they might have made a mistake. So it's always a giant question. And on top of that, at the end of the day, once I start taking the thing, if I decide to actually do it, I don't know if it's working. I'm taking a bunch of supplements. I have no idea if any of them is doing anything. Some of them might even be doing bad stuff, be doing negatively. And that is so freaking hard. That is so freaking terrible. And it's disheartening. And it is but that's the reality. That's just what it is. You have to be very, very calm and collected in your research, and you have to make, eventually, with all the data that you're presented, you have to make informed decisions. And it's very easy to sometimes be swept away by oh my God, somebody's like, they're so into it, they're so passionate about this specific treatment, and it's like it's working for them, and they have evidence, and this evidence. They have, anecdotal stories. There's this one person who was fully cured because of this treatment. He did just this treatment, and it's like fantastic. And it's like, oh my God, it's one person. It's like, it sounds fantastic. And when they tell about it and they're passionate, it sounds so great. But I don't know if it helps. I don't know if it's like, that's enough. And you never know if it's applicable to me, because I'm a different person from that person. And there could be so many different variables there. You don't know. But then, maybe I should try it anyways. Because maybe it can help you, but maybe it can do harm. And that's tough. And that's really, really tough. And one of the things is that having cancer, having this kind of disease, and also being in somewhat of a public platform. I mean, my channel isn't huge. I've got 1.7 K subscribers at the moment, and I've got friends and family and other supporters through Twitter and through Facebook and stuff like that. I mean, the people that you're watching this right now, you're probably familiar with me. The chances are that you're new people is probably low because I don't have a lot of outreach. I'm a limited amount of public figure is what I'm trying to say. Public figure. But the thing is that still I get people, especially now that it's cancer, I get more people into my channel because of they're looking for cancer stuff, or they're talking about it, or they're involved in these things. And then they support for whatever reason. It could be for very valid reasons, and it could be for I just like this and I think this is good for no particular reason. They support specific therapies, specific supplements, specific things that might actually help me. And there's you have to try this. And I have comments on some of my videos. It's you have to try this thing. This will save you. And man, do I want to believe them. I want to take them up on their word so much. But I can't do that every time. I have to very consciously research it, very calmly look at it, and make a decision eventually. And it sucks, and sometimes it's frustrating. And this is coming out of I just watched an hour-long doc on fasting, and it didn't say too many new things, but it brought to light a bunch of scientific research that's been done on fasting that I wasn't aware of before. And I did try fasting for chemo. It didn't really change anything for me, but this has shown me that if I do chemo moving forward, I would like to try fasting again, I think, because this has given me enough scientific backing. I feel, feeling that I will want to try fasting when I do chemo next. Which is cool. But it's like it's so freaking tough sometimes. I wish it was simpler. God, I wish it was simpler. And there's so many different things that I'm doing right now and that I'm taking right now, and there's so many different other research that I'm doing and that I need to do. I have lists and lists of more things to research, and I just looked at the thing and I realized that not only is the light warmer and oranger, but also I am wearing pure red stuff. Like it's probably not contributing to just how, like, this is extremely red, and my hat's red, and my shirt's red, and the couch is red, and everything's red. I like warm colors. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I'm going to continue researching and continue trying to do what I think is correct, and I hope that the things that I'm doing right now are correct. And I encourage you, if you have any kind of idea of anything whatsoever that might help me, send it my way. Regardless of how much research you do, I will do research as well. I cannot afford to take someone up on their word just like willy-nilly, just like that. I can't afford it. It could kill me. This is what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna keep fighting. Right now, we're just waiting for Monday. We're just waiting to go to the doctors and hear the results of the latest CT. And from then on out, we will see what we're due forward. Let's kick ass. I'm trying to be very positive. This chemo has been kind of bad, as all the other ones have been. But this has been my mindset, my mental state has been very, very good. I've been extremely positive this time. The last couple of times were extremely difficult mentally. I was thoroughly depressed for various reasons, and this time I'm doing much better, and that's good. And that's due to many reasons. And my hair's growing. It still looks terrible in my opinion, which is why I'm always with a hat, but my hair's growing. And my family visited me, and I feel better now, and we have some cool things coming along. Oh, I can say one more thing. We should be. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Let's have it happen first. And now you're wondering, what the hell am I talking about? Which is the worst when people do that. Don't you just hate it when people do that? It's like, you know what, I should tell you this thing. Never mind, I'm not going to tell you. You just hate it when people do that. People are terrible. Like, people really shouldn't do that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm so bad. It's terrible. But hey, I have cancer, so you're going to forgive me. That also totally works. Throwing the cancer card whenever you feel like. But yeah, I'm in pretty high spirits today. I think you can see that, and that's good. And yeah, I'm gonna go record a Torment video. So let's go play some games, and I'll see you guys probably next week at some point. Cheers.